And I got a unit going out, 8.8 liter PSI 4G software going out on overcrank. Overcrank, just not firing up. No faults. One of the things I look for when you go to here, go to the control page. You want to look for fuel pressure. So your target and your actual 11.8, and now that could be reserve pressure that could lock up. So we want to crank and make sure that pressure doesn't go down to 0. Another thing you want to look for is engine speed. We want to make sure RPM, that tells us our crank sensor is coming in. It's not going to turn on ignition. Now I have just a quick spark tester clamped on. If you don't have a spark tester, you could back probe ignition control. But this, and then you can liven up the ECM just like you do on the diesels by going to overview software version and holding it so you can get connected before you start it, so you don't have that gap. So now we're going to crank it and look for spark. I got no spark. I got RPM. Oh, now I got spark. I don't see advance. So there's spark. Oh, actual fuel pressure took a dive. Now, that's the mega ejector. The mega ejector is going to control that. So it has a target and then actual. So we're going to look at the comparison here. All right, so it doesn't want a ton of pressure, and it's diving down. Okay. All right, so shut that off, silence that. So it's telling it, it's restricting fuel on purpose, because the mega ejector in here will actually tell that to choke down. Now these diaphragms can stick. I may test pressure just to be safe. So let me do a little more testing here. O2 is driving rich, and the fact that it's reducing fuel pressure like it is on this makes me wonder. I remove the fuel valve power. So I'm going to crank and see if I can, if this goes lean now. I might throw a fault because they can detect. Oh. Okay. That's a weird noise. Now, that change with fuel, I wonder if we got a mechanical issue in here now. So I've plugged that in. I don't like the sound of the cranking. I wonder if there's noise on the crank sensor where it's not. And no spark. All right. I have to look at spark a little closer here. Just make sure we are getting fuel. We are getting fuel. Next thing we're going to look is either it's got fuel, it's got spark. Now we're going to mechanical. Is that turbo binding up? I hope not. Well, we'll get into that. You also want to look for throttle position, command, actual. Do we get movement? And it opens up. All right. So we got spark. Now we're going to see if the spark here matches here, because this is going to determine it based off us. I don't like the spark here, really. 184, actually. 184, so it is coming in. Spark is matching. I'm going to get a spark tester and make sure it's not cutting out though, because this thing is not catching it, but it's not perfect all the time. Watch the spark, make sure. Okay, nice and bright. So now we're in the engine vacuum, or these diaphragms also. So somehow we want to make sure that engine is pulling the fuel, putting it into the stream. All right, here we go. Running lean. We are in closed loop. That shouldn't be happening. We're going to clear the adaptive. Let's see if I can. Majority of the hours of the runtime accumulated is going to be between loaded and unloaded. The majority of the hours will be unloaded. The red highlights where we are now, so we want to be, if this unit's, we can assume it's been running good most of its life, unloaded, it's accumulated 457 hours at 1800 RPMs at this manifold absolute pressure. It's still there. Now it's going up and down on the RPM. So our engine vacuum, or our manifold pressure, because we're turbo here, is good. It's what it's always been when it's been running good. But that said, I'm still lean. And It's getting the fuel launch, but it's asking for too little. Commanded or close. I'm almost wondering if we got a so we're running lean. Even though we got the fuel pressure we want, so that says more air is getting introduced into the system than it can control. So that would mean either we have a charge air cooler leak, or some other hole in here. Now, if you'll notice, I got my smoke machine out. It doesn't put enough pressure. I looked for that because originally if I had spark, I had compression, I had everything. I had fuel pressure, I had cranking RPM, I had everything. I was wondering if, a lot of times it's just not getting the fuel. That's a toughie. Will it start hot again? Let's see. No. All right, now, one thing I do want to check here. I'm going to put you down for a second. Running lean. We are in closed loop. Now we're still way lean. So, one thing that can happen is we can run lean, run rich. We're getting too much air in. The air filter, they account for everything in the system. We're lean, we're lean, we're lean. Let's get a picture of the cranking pressure again here. Should at least be an 11 to 14 unit. I don't know if it's a 14. We can check. I don't think it's going to be a 14. No tags. I don't think it is. I think shouldn't be happening. All right, so after checking compression, spark, timing, we got it started with a little help of a can of you-know-what. It stayed running. Checked the histogram for manifold air pressure. It was all running per spec, but the only thing out, it was running lean. Throttle position, everything was working, so basically we're getting unmetered air into the system where it shouldn't be, that we can't control. So I was thinking charge air cooler, whatever, the pipes, any couplings. Well, it's getting over to the turbo, and lo and behold, we got a split boot, and if that turbo can't draw fuel through here, we're going to draw air and we are going to be lean. So that is the problem. Get a new boot and she'll be up and running. Yee-haw.